I got unlucky with mine. I couldn't kill who I wanted to kill.
Well, hello and welcome,
Coward.
Internet. I'm Ignite, also known as Gladiator, and as you heard just a little minute ago, there's Black Templar and a new face for the analysis. It is Formal.
Yep. Hello.
Cool.
And yeah, I was looking at the best punching bags. uh, but that's not what we're looking at here. We're going to look at the teams and see how they did
Yes.
for week 13. So we're on week 14 now. But for week 13, let's begin with probably one of the biggest matches of the week. The Rehensibles, which is the Dark Elves, versus the Amazons. And I'm just going to let these two take it away because they watched the match. And as you can tell with the statistics, there's 3 deaths on the Dark Elf team.
Well,
Oh,
there was actually 4.
Oh.
yes, there was 4.
Apothecary saved one of them. And it was probably the player he would want to save the least, but he wasn't expecting another death the same turn and then 2 more deaths in the same half. It was a slaughter.
Well, it shows that the
Indeed.
Amazons only have 2 kills. So did he kill himself somehow?
I think it was a crowd surf and a foul.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and to be honest, it goes back to what I said last week, that the winner of this match was not going to go down to passes or running. It was going to be a question of who could get the best rounds of punches. And Gojira must have listened to me, and he actually did that, and, well, you saw the end result.
Yeah. And they didn't really do that much punching, but the punches that they did do, oh, it's devastating for the Dark Elves, weren't they?
Oh, yes, indeed.
And to be fair, the dice were stacked a little bit against the Dark Elves in this match. Going from the skulls to both downs, you only had 5 stumble dice the entire game.
Wow.
Well, to be fair, it was a long time coming that one of these two teams was going to suffer a critical blow, and I think both said it the best. I think his run is now near over because it's near possible to recover in time for the playoffs because there's 2 matches left, and
Well, he still has a favorable position on the team chart. He's still in second place. Even if he loses his next 2 games, that would still place him against somebody lower in the brackets, the Chaos, if he stays at level second place. Otherwise, he can place against the Undead or the Chaos Dwarves. So pretty much anything can happen. It's still going to be tough trying to get that team value back. But I don't think it's out of the question that he can somehow pull through.
Well, let's look at it this way. He has 4 blitzes right now. One of them's going to be missing for next game. I mean, you can't really do much about it. He has 90K in the bank. He can definitely afford another lineman of some kind. And he has 2 more games, so he can get some decent rolls before that happens. Obviously, he is going to fight someone probably in the lower ranks for his current seating on being number 2 if he can continue winning. And Maul's a good player. He has, his blitzers are definitely his strongest pieces. He lost his Witch Elf. He lost a couple of linemen, correct? And, or 2 Witch Elves.
and a Witch Elf.
Yeah, he lost one Witch Elf.
I think he lost his runner as well.
Yep, I don't see a runner.
Yeah.
Yep, that is definitely a piece that is missing. So a lineman, a runner, and a Witch Elf. A runner is pretty crucial because he has passing abilities. So that does suck. But
yeah, the dump off was actually pivotal at a beginning part in the game that kind of delayed the BMS squad from scoring early on.
yeah,
But it wasn't enough to stop.
yeah, and he's down a few pegs.
know,
Let's
I'm-
be honest, we all don't like elves, dwarves, underworld, and orcs all hate elves. So we're happy to see the dark elves lose some. I think we probably want to see more high elves lose more players than dark elves at this moment in time. But yeah,
Well,
Oh,
like I was
boy.
saying in the chat during that game, he killed 2 of my players. The Apothecary saved 1, but that was a grudging, and the Amazons definitely came through there.
yeah. So you got to thank the Amazons.
Yeah.
But good game for Gojira of getting the 1-0 victory. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Raiders winning against. Wait, what?
Yes, the
That's-
Raiders. Johnny is Red's kryptonite.
Yep.
What the heck
It's the
happened?
truth. They both got really, really drunk this game. They were doing it whenever you got a skull, you had to take a sip of a drink. If a player got injured or died, you had to take a shot. If you had a touchdown
Yep.
against, you had to take a shot. So they were both smashed by the end of this game, and it was just getting rowdy. They were making mistakes, but just the dice. The dice did not really want the better than humans to win, and they actually lost to a human team. I mean, they're Norse,
And
but
yeah.
and
And
also
the pièce de résistance, Spider-Man is dead.
Dead. He's
Spider-Man
dead. I see. He has a version 2 of Spider-Man now. Oh shoot,
Yep.
that was a big piece when I was playing as the High Elves. Wow. Yeah, that's a big missing piece now.
was that the piece that got both the touchdowns out of your friendly game?
Yeah, out of the friendly match that was actually considered part of this match, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got like 3 or 4 touchdowns. No, he got 3 touchdowns.
Yep,
Or
well,
2 touchdowns. One of those 2.
He got fouled by one of the linemen.
Yes,
And-
the foulers. Good job.
He had no pluses or anything. It was just a straight one-on-one foul. And it killed Spider-Man.
Wow. Spider-Man.
The
is
apothecary, dead or dead.
No. Well, you can't be lucky
I
all
have-
the time.
And I'm happy that Johnny finally blinked and listened. I think he should stay drunk all the time because he actually listened to us because we shouted to him, "Blitz with the damn Yeti," and he actually blitzed the damn thing when he was drunk.
I know it's kind of against the thing to like coach the players, but I mean, in kind of Johnny's case, I mean, he could use a little bit of,
Well, let's be honest here.
and not in a
If
bad
we all know that the Yeti needs to be blitzing, like, it wasn't only y'all. I probably almost everyone in the chat saying, "Blitz with the Yeti, blitz with the Yeti." I mean, I don't blame you. His is only claw mighty blow piece. I mean, he's not gonna get claw anywhere else. But this is my only mighty blow piece. He doesn't have any other way to manipulate armor. So that was probably his best bet. And yeah, his Yeti is Why do you put thick skull on the Yeti? I don't understand that.
so it doesn't die. I don't really know.
Okay, sure.
I think he wants to keep. I think he wants to avoid a lot of knockouts. I would say.
He has
He
freaking
did pass
4 people that have
60%
half
of
the
his
armor.
he did pass 60% of his wild animal checks. So he did make it quite far.
We had some people talking about the drunk game about it. how it sounds savage and Nuffle turns up drink. Or every time Nuffle turns up drink.
He did get a level up on one of his players. He hasn't gone through with it. It was just a regular skill up. He keeps all of his players. And I mean, even though they're weak, if one of his other players go down because it's a Norse team, they have really low armor. It
Yeah.
allowed him to stay in the game. I trade a piece for your piece. Guess what? I have more pieces left over.
That's fair. And I mean, as
Even
with the
though
win
they're
there.
crappy pieces, they're definitely working out for him.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But I mean, good job on you, Johnny, for taking down the High Elves. I don't think anyone likes them. Period.
I think he actually, Red Devil, he actually lost to Johnny in the last season as well.
Yes, he did. And Johnny was the
Yeah.
worst player last season.
Yeah.
So let's continue forward, and this is your match, Formal, of the Dwarves versus what was it? The Necromantic, or yes,
The
Necromantic.
Necromantic. So
Necromantic.
Nuffle absolutely just despised him. He had 4 armor breaks the entire game. Every single one of
Oh,
those
wow.
was stunned. Not a single one of my players left the game. I managed to go up 2-0, and on the 16th play, he managed to make a dodge and 2 going forwards for the touchdown at the very end. That's the only reason why it's a 1-2. But it was a slaughter. I felt kind of bad at the end of it because the dice was just not going his way.
Well, for looking at rolls,
shouldn't be bad for
they're
them.
about average. Blocks, they're actually about average. For you, blocks, you got a lot more pushes because of your slayers. And you had more 1s and 2s than anything. So dice for regular rolls were actually kind of bad for you, considering.
Well, I don't make a lot of rolls overall. That's what I try to avoid. Although a lot of my rolls were armor. And if you go to my team and look at armor, I failed 4 armor rolls.
Yeah.
That and success on 24. That is insane. The dice definitely were not going his way, and just there wasn't a whole lot he can do.
I gotta say this. Good job getting 2 touchdowns with the freaking dwarf team because they're slow as all get out.
They're slow as all get out. My Troll Slayer caught the ball somehow
What?
and managed to score.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know. But that Troll Slayer is now 4 strength.
Yep. And a big target on his head by almost everyone that's going to try to face him.
Yep.
I was hoping to catch you about this because there's 2 questions I'd like to ask. One, why did you pick strength 4 for a Troll Slayer? Why did you not go for something like dodge? Because, no offense, but a strength of Troll Slayer is the worst thing you could do because they're dauntless means
They're
it's useless.
dauntless. However, it's not as useless as you think. If it's a 1-on-1, or if it's a tied, if it's a 3 strength piece, I now get 2 dice against them. If someone tries to block him, they have to have a buddy or they need to be just as strong.
Yeah, and he's
True, but-
not bad against fighting big guys either.
He's now a lot stronger when fighting big guys. I mean, the Dauntless only brings it up to a 5-5, which is less of bonus than if it was a 3. However, it's a less chance of the Dauntless failing.
Yep.
Gotta
that is
admit
true.
though, your ball possession in that game was just like that was one side as hell. I mean, 68%. That's just practically you having the ball for the entire game.
Yep, I tried to hold on to the ball as much as possible.
He's slow. He was fighting a team that was pretty much slow and couldn't get around his lines. So that's dwarfs for you. That's why everyone don't like dwarves either, because they are tough to bring down. They all have block, and they don't. You don't break armor.
If you play the dwarves well, it's really hard to get through them. Even though
Pretty
I joined
much.
halfway through the season, the dwarf stat line is just great. Of course, what we saw, if anything gets past me or if I go down players, I mean,
It's a lot
there's
more
nothing
difficult.
I can do to stop it.
Yeah.
But any team that is not like super agi, the dwarves can go toe to toe with them.
Yeah,
Off
definitely.
their dark elves.
Yeah.
The dark elves destroyed me.
But good game. You got the victory, and your position on leaderboard is actually fairly high. You're 1 above me actually. So yeah, good job on that. But
Yeah,
let's- I'll let you say your little piece, and then we'll move on.
Yep. Yeah. No, the leaderboard. You and me are right neck to neck. But we'll settle that in a little bit here.
Definitely. But let's move on to the Chaos versus the Rats. It is a 2-2 tie. So yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, I watched this match, and I have to give Grim ridiculous credit. I mean, even though he was 2 players down with death, he couldn't even hurt the Chaos. But to his credit, he hanged on for dear Grim life, and he did well to get a tie, given the situation he was in.
Yep.
He did make it a tie with his gutter runners, and he
And
did
he
a great
killed
job
2
of doing
rats.
it. I think
wow.
one of the rats that died was a loner,
Yeah, that's
but
what it
I
looks
might
like.
be mistaken on that. But I think one of his actual rats did take death there.
Yeah, that is true. Heck, he has 1 regular lineman. Oh, that's funny.
I think what he's doing now is he's keeping his team value low so he can get all those inducements. Leaving those holes. So yes, he has the loners. He doesn't care about the loners for his front line.
Hey, definitely.
They're there as fodder. So.
Yep. So yeah, I mean his team is looking fairly strong. He has a Blodge gutter runner. He has a 2-head gutter runner with sure feet and 1 with sprint. He has a strength of gutter runner. He has a niggle and block. So that could be a potential blitzer, and he has an agi up on a thrower. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
but he did lose but his Stormwind was one that died, so that is a bit of a blow for poor Grim.
He's gonna get him after next game. He's gonna get another one. So, and he has a lineman with blocks, so I mean, 1 less armor, so he technically has another Stormworm. In all technical reasoning. But
Yeah.
yeah, good. I mean,
But-
I have to give it
But we
props.
also got.
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, Chaos, they did okay. I mean, they had a couple of good runs. It's just The thing is, though, I mean, when you look at Chaos in that match, Chaos were having a good day. They were having a good day in the office, but it was
Oh
just
yeah.
just the gutter runners. If you cannot stop the gutter runners, then that's a bit of the problem
Oh,
for
definitely.
Chaos.
When I was fighting Pig Dog in season 2 in the playoffs, I was able to stomp on him for injuries wise. I mean, that's just what Chaos does. But he was able to, like his one-turn touchdown rat was able to run through a tackler's tackle zone, two of the tackle. Yeah, I can't speak. Like 2 or 3 of the tackler's tackle zones, and able to get a touchdown, like a one-turn touchdown. It's hard to stop that. But yeah, for gutter runners against Chaos, Chaos is not really quick. They're quicker than other teams, but their most moving lines is 6. Yeah.
Yep, they're fairly slow as a team, so if you can get around them, that's one of their main flaws. The thing about the Chaos teams is they're more meant for the brawl game. You
Yep.
injure the pieces and then you play the ball.
Pretty much. And his team is, I'm not gonna lie, looking very scary. He has a claw block Minotaur. That is a very scary piece. He has a lot of beast mode block. Cookie Monster probably needs
There's
to be fired.
block, there's claws.
Yeah, there's a bunch of claws.
Cookie Monster is, yeah, definitely seen better days there.
He probably needs to be fired, in my opinion. Because, like, the sure hands, yes, is not bad, but with Agi 2 is, like, negating what he got. Yes, he has block. I mean, and most Chaos don't really worry about the ball, so, yeah, I guess there's that. But, yeah, I think he's just increasing his team value right there. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah. And
He does have the second
and
highest value in the league right now,
yeah,
behind the High Elves.
Yeah.
yeah. And Dai is asking you, Glad, are you drunk?
No, I'm not drunk.
He thinks you're drunk.
I don't know why.
But, let's move on, shall we?
Alright, yeah, definitely. And this involves me
this is
versus
your,
Scythe.
Yeah, I'll ask you a question, Glad.
Sure.
Was Scythe drunk? Because the way he was playing, it was like a bloody drunk man.
Well, after like turn 12 or something, he had to actually leave. He had to go pick up someone, so he was rushing to get through the game. So if he kept on playing, he probably could have gotten a tie, but he had to go, so he had no choice. He played rushfully, and of course that's going to cost when you play rushfully with the dwarf team. If you make any mistakes, especially against a team like mine, it's going to be bad. But other than that, his team did very well against me. Considered, yes, it's a 2-0. He didn't really hurt my players too bad. Like, they're all badly hurt. There weren't really any main injuries. I was able to bring down one of his guys, though. But yeah, I wasn't really breaking through armor. That's the thing. I have a team, well, definitely a team stronger now because I have 3 Claw Mighty Blow pieces that can definitely break through armor now. But they weren't breaking through armor like I wanted. That's the thing. Like, dwarfs and chaos dwarfs and orcs for that matter, any high armor value teams, this team can probably counter. If they can get the ball and whatnot, they can probably counter them because they have these strengths to try to take pieces down, obviously. And I wasn't getting that. He was able to, of course, go to toe with me because he outstrengthed me. He has tackle, so that counters most of my players because goblins want to go away from the punching or get thrown, obviously. So yeah, it was difficult to try to get around this Chaos Dwarf team because they had the bull centaurs to actually gain up on me and get ground. Granted, I think I was able to lock him fairly decently because he had to either punch or blitz to try to get to another piece. So he couldn't really get to my pieces that get around his back line. So that was his downfall. He had a rush at the end. Probably could have been a tie. Unfortunately, it wasn't. So I was able to steal a win, you might say.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. But yeah, and especially with him having to leave halfway through, I know that kind of changed things quite a bit. If it was a full-on game and he had the time, it might have been a little bit different.
It's probably been a tie if he stayed. Let's be honest here.
Exactly.
But of course,
yeah,
I will take a free win any day of the week. And it was a good game up to that point. So, and that doesn't matter. let's move on from that match to the next match, which involved the undead versus the ogres, and the undead won.
Yep. Yep. This match, I'm gonna be honest here. Joe was not having a good day in the office. I mean, he was doing right punching, but he wasn't killing. And the funny thing was, he managed to get his ogre to score a touchdown, the one who's the MVP.
Yeah.
As far as the serial killers go, this was their day. They were just having fun.
Yeah, for considering that he's fighting ogres and one was an Agi 3, he did really good. He had good dice overall. Granted, he had 19 ones, and yeah, about average. And his blocking dice, he had a lot more skulls, so his blocking dice was not as kind. But the ogres, they're about the same, average. Ooh, and a lot more 6s and 2s. Or not 6s, but 1s and 2s. 36 of them. So he had some bad luck in that aspect too. But
Oh, I'm just getting assault from Diaf about the whole Johnny thing. He's getting a bit salty about it.
oh, I'm sorry. Did Spider-Man die on you?
It's in the Discord. He's literally a bit salty about the outside coaching, and I think Rogers just came in and just had a go at him.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
good
fair.
lord.
And I mean, like, the whole thing about it is definitely with Pyro Joe. With his ogre team, he does have the 5 ogres, but he only has 4 nobblers left, meaning if one nobbler gets thrown off the pitch, that leaves his team very far down. He has the 2 loner nobblers that would come in, but they're not going to be doing a whole lot compared to what the other teams bring.
Well, I mean, I'm going to agree with you and also disagree with you. His team is doesn't really need an Alba right now. He has a ball carrier that has block and has agility 3 and has 5 strength. So, does he really need
As
an
long as
Alba?
he doesn't bonehead. You need the nobblers just for the numbers advantage. I mean, he does have 3 ogres with guard, which definitely helps him out. And is that all piling on?
Yeah, he loves piling on.
Oh no! All right, well that can cause a lot of pain. But
Thing
again,
is, though,
can leave his players down and no tackle zones.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
thing is, though,
if you lose an ogre's tackle zone, the nobblers basically don't even have a tackle zone.
No. But what are you gonna say,
I mean,
Black?
he did get to use his pylon correctly a couple of times, but they just did nothing for him. It just Nuffle was not being kind to him when it comes to the injury side. I mean, for passing and throwing, he was doing fine. It was just he couldn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the serial killers team, not one player is in an injury or in a missing game state.
Nope, nobody's missing a game. Although, to be fair, Pyro Joe didn't have any either. There were no deaths unless he sacked players the nobblers who would be missing a game. But something that I didn't realize until now, the mummy with the missed with the injury for his movement, that's almost like a tree man standing up right there.
Pretty much, isn't it? Oh man. I mean, does mummies really need that amount of movement allowance? Yes, but at the same time, if they can lock pieces up, it's not really a big deal. They have 5 strength.
Yeah, no, he has to roll to stand up, which makes it hard because the mummies, I think, are more meant to be like the roadblock pieces for the team. So
he has to
I mean,
roll to
that's
stand
one
up?
of the.
I didn't know he has to roll to stand
Yep,
up.
you have to roll to stand up if you don't have 3 movement.
Really? I didn't know
If
that.
you have 3 movement, you can, but that's why when you try to stand up a tree man, they have to roll to stand up. That's why that's their negatrait is their low movement.
I gotcha. Okay, that's interesting.
So that's one of the worst injuries you can get on a mummy besides strength. They're not really worried about their agi or their armor because they have the regeneration to kind of keep them going.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And he let's not forget about this, but Toucan Sam, he's strength 4.
It's a little terrifying.
I mean, it
Oh
is
yeah.
terrifying, but he has no regen. So if that ghoul gets injured, like all ghouls, uh, he's going to probably get fired if he has anything really bad.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, no, the ghoul, that's kind of his whole ball carrier. It doesn't even have block yet, so that's kind of one of the hard parts about that ghoul. Yes, he has the kick. Yes, he has the bonus to strength, but that's all he has going for him. Any block would bring him down, or
Yeah,
somebody would tackle.
yeah. That piece is definitely has a target, and I don't think he's going to have a very long life. Let's be honest here.
Nope. I mean, he's got what 2 games left until the playoffs, so we'll see what happens. Maybe the other ghoul can come in and score some touchdowns, get some SPP.
Indeed, indeed. But
Hmm.
good game for Maz getting another victory. I think that splits his victories up to 2. It does. And yeah, let's move on to the next match, which involve the Ember Knights and the Humans of Romkeys, misspelled characters.
Yeah. Yep. And this was quite the upset, I have to admit.
It
This was
is.
quite the upset.
Yeah, freaking Romkey
I mean,
injured 4 players. There was a kill against Romkey though. And he had the ball
yeah,
mostly.
yeah, but he also had a player. He's gonna have a player missing next game, which is his capture. But I have to give Ronki credit. I mean, he held out well. It's just I don't know what happened to Oath. I mean, Oath was it looked like he had some things under control, and suddenly just everything fell apart.
That's like been Romkey lately. Like he has been getting really lucky with his matches. Like he beat me. I mean, granted, my team was, of course, not as strong as it is now, but he was able to beat me. It was a close match. I was almost able to get a tie against him, but he got lucky. The rolls were just not on my side, and that's how he was able to beat me. So that's probably what happened to Oath. The rolls wasn't on his side. Nope, he got no. Heck, he didn't do that many blocks. He had 8 pals and 6 defender stumbles and 13 both down. Which against Romkey, which has a lot of blocks, not gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, well, even though that Oath lost that game, he still has all of his players available for the next game, so he just has to take the loss and then move on to the next one.
That is
Is the
true.
way to kind of look at it. Because he's still one of the strongest teams in the league. So even though he was handed a loss there, he's still high up on the leaderboard.
He is. He
Hmm.
definitely is. It's gonna be a like it's mainly his blitzers though. Like if any of his blitzers starts getting hurt, like say for example Marcus or Jeremy, he's gonna get hit pretty hard. Granted, that strength up on the blocker, that's really good, and his other one
Oh yeah,
having guard,
definitely.
which like his blockers
He's
need skills obviously, but if any of those blitzers go down, it's gonna cripple his team value. It's gonna cripple a lot of things.
he is 100% relying on his blitzers. If any of his blitzers ever go down, it's gonna pretty much cripple his team. That's
Mm-hmm.
like 25% of his team right there. Yes, he
Mm-hmm.
can use the blockers, but they don't have the safety net of the block and dodge.
Yep. You're very correct, and he has to fight me at the last bit. If I can survive against your dwarfs, he's gonna have to fight me, and I have a lot of mighty blow claw pieces, which could hurt a lot. But
I
Oh
hope
yeah.
you murder them.
I hope I can get one of them down, at least Marcus. That's the main target there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but remember, he has enough of the linemen to not be afraid to play dirty.
Oh, I know.
He's not going to be afraid to foul, and so I know that that's going to be pretty much whoever fouls the hardest.
Well, you're talking to the person that wants everyone to foul. Granted, it sucks when I get fouled. I'm not gonna lie. I hate getting fouled, but I love fouling. I mean, that's every Blood Bowl player.
Yep.
Let's be honest here. No one likes getting fouled and getting injured. Let's be fair. But either way, it's gonna be a good match. But I think that is. Oh nope, there is your match. Black. It is you versus Elizabeth, and that was a pretty big match for this week as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Let's just say it was a skink demolition that I pulled on poor Bright,
Yes.
and it was also the Skarsnik show.
Because you got 5 SP, 5 SPP for the player of the game, so that leaves 6 left. So he scored the other 2 touchdowns as well.
Yep. And he caught a pass.
Which being stunty, no, throwing is harder with stunty, not
Yep.
catching.
Catching's just fine.
And
you inflicted 4 injuries against him, and he only inflicted 1 against you.
Yeah, but what really, really angered me was Trump gets love tapped, and he goes out for the entire game with a knockout, and I was fuming. I said,
Dude,
"Get back here so I can kill
what
you."
happened there is freaking the coach told Russian Trump, "Hey man, you're gonna get punched. Just fake it. You're gonna get out of the game." so you punched him barely and got KO'd. He stayed out.
Although
Yeah.
I do want you to take notice of the block dice that the Lizardmen had. They had a lot of downs in both downs compared to their other dice.
Yeah, they did.
So, yeah, they were. Nuffle was not being very kind to them this game. So, and you, the orcs, you didn't make a whole lot of blocks, but when you did, you made it count.
Indeed.
Yeah, but I mean, when you watch the match, I mean, I had a plan. I knew what I was doing because with him losing the Coxacor and Lizardman, that screamed that if I can get his back lines and cause wreaking havoc on his skinks, well, it worked. I mean, that's what I did. I went in the back lines and took out his skinks.
Everyone's liking that little comment I said.
It was
fake it until you make it.
Yeah, but what really angered poor Bright was, and you probably heard all the swearing in our match, but he was upset that he only had just Lizardman on his pitch. No skink returned after the first
Oh
half.
man, that is unfortunate.
I mean, it's just going to be a brawl at that point. Just stack up and punch. That's all you can really do. You cannot handle the ball without the skinks, and the skinks are the weak part of the team. If you go for the skinks and you knock them down, they're going to leave the pitch. Once they're off the pitch, there's nothing they can do regarding the ball.
Yep, they have stunty
Well,
and they're really squishy.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, one thing about the match was his sources were actually picking up the ball and performing long bombs.
Wait, what?
What?
Yes, they actually performed a long bomb.
Huh.
It wasn't a complete pass, though, right? It was just getting it to the other side of the field.
No, he actually hit the target. It was just that he rolled a 1 instead of a 3.
So he couldn't catch it. He threw it, but he couldn't catch it.
Well, that would have been insane.
Yeah, he long bombed from his own touchline to literally near the middle of the pitch.
Wow. I gotta give that Soros some props right there.
If he caught it, I'm gonna be honest. If he caught the ball, I would not have caught him.
Nope.
But since he
Nuffle
dropped it, it gave me the time.
Screw it. At that point.
The thing is, I only had Skarsnik in the back. That's the only person that was there.
I mean, it's going up against the skink
2 red
there,
die.
so you should be fine, right?
Yeah, I gotta give credit to Skarsnik as well. Skarsnik he was having the game of his blinking life in that match.
Yeah, he had 11 SPP.
What?
You don't see goblins get that much SPP at all.
Yeah, he leveled up twice from that game, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
What'd you give him anyways? I haven't even looked at
I
your
gave.
team.
He's got movement allowance up, and now he's got sneaky get.
Oh,
So he's gonna start
okay.
stomping on some people.
Oh man, and your places have Mighty Blow.
come on.
Or not Mighty Blow, but Piling On now. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Mighty Blow just went to town on those skinks. I just went to town.
And you got another Black Orc, so your team is near full strength again.
Yep.
Except for next game, there's one missing next game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, near. What are you gonna say, Black?
Yeah, and also I had like 5 players level up, which was 2 of them was belonging to Skarsnik, and for 3 were 2 blitzers and a lineman that got leveled up.
Okay. That is what's up.
However, I gotta put the one thing though. I have the worst player in the league at the moment, which is Mogdung. He must be the worst orc in the entire history. He's not even got a single point.
He is just a lineman, so. He's like cannon fodder.
Sure, you didn't replace him from the beginning of the league.
No, he's been there since the beginning. He's never got a point.
Well, I mean, like if we click into him, it might show us the statistics for him, how many blocks and stuff. 1 KO inflicted and 6 injuries. So, I don't know if that's right.
It's probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's calculated right. Never mind.
That's all
Yeah.
competitions. I don't know. That's
I
weird.
know.
Uh,
He's been injured 6 times and he's been knocked out once.
that's probably what happened.
But he's played every match.
Well, let me do y'all a favor for everyone watching and everything. Let's confirm the round and start doing some predictions.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And this will be interesting.
yes, it will. We got the Dark Elves versus the Norse, and the Norse is actually have better team value than the Dark Elves.
By a country mile.
Indeed. So there's gonna be a good
Yeah,
chunk
the
of
last game
petty cash.
definitely reduced that.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is what I've got to say to Molt. Molt, don't buy any new players. Just for this game only, don't buy any new players. Just get as much petty cash as you can. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and put your loaners on the line, obviously. But I think that's almost everyone's going to know what to do with. But,
Oh yeah.
I think this is going to be a bloody match. I'm going to be pretty honest. I think it's going to be bloody. I don't think it's going to be anything as bad as what happened last time. Well, I mean, it could be. You got freaking 6 Norse players that have halfling armor. So it could be a lot of deaths if you put them on the field. But I think Johnny's probably going to hurt an elf or two. Especially because the Yeti. And he has a good chunk of tackle. Granted, I don't think the Dark Elf team has a lot of dodge. But he has a lot of potential to hurt his team. And Johnny, you got one thing above this Dark Elf team. You have players. You have a lot more players. So, when you bring a Dark Elf player down, that means you need to foul. Because your team, let's be honest, sucks.
His tackle will benefit him against 4 of his players.
Yep.
The Witch Elf,
Yep.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is a tier 4 blitzer, Harrison Fraud, which is a tier 3 blitzer, and another tier 3 blitzer. So that tackle is going to go a long ways
Oh,
to
definitely.
causing a lot of pain.
Indeed. So when you bring those things down, foul them.
I wouldn't say Johnny's team suck. Glad he's literally 1 win away from overtaking you in 8th place.
Well, I have 5 ties. But his team has, I mean, yes, his players, he has a lot of players, but freaking 5 of his players have armor value down. If it's just that's just hard to fathom.
That's just really unlucky. The chances of getting just armored down by its own. You don't see any agi down. You don't see any strength down. You see 1 movement down on another one who also has that armor down.
Exactly.
Just the luck of that.
And
is just insane.
His berserker, he has a niggle and a AV down.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Johnny, I noticed you have a player that you've not leveled up yet. Piece of advice: take Mighty Blinking Blow. That's gonna help against the Dark Elves, big time.
Yeah.
He was sitting on the roll, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the linemen only have access to general on normal rolls. He already rolled the roll. It is just the standard roll, so he was just kind of deciding on what to take with it.
He is correct. Norse players can only get general access, or Norse linemen can only get general access.
Oh, that's kind of sucky. I thought they got access to strength.
For a team prone to violence, they don't even get dodge on a regular level up.
Nope.
Which definitely makes it a little bit harder for them to level up and keep it going.
Indeed. But let's go ahead and figure out some scores, people. So.
Indeed.
Formal.
So,
let's start with you.
I'll go first.
Yep. What do you think?
So, I think that the dice are probably gonna bless Johnny. I still think Malt is gonna come away with the win. I predict it's gonna be a 4-0. Like, the game with me.
Ouch!
I don't think it's gonna be that
Ouch!
bad.
That's rough, man.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I'm gonna go ahead and say my opinion, Black, if you don't mind. Um,
Go ahead.
I don't think that Malt is gonna beat him that bad. I think he's probably gonna win, because I think Malt is a better player than Johnny. Johnny hasn't played as much as Malt. I think Johnny's understanding how Norse actually works now after the league's or this season's about to be over. But I think Malt's going to probably suffer some kind of energy of some kind on a couple different elves. If he's able to stay away from the Norse is just going to keep on coming and keep on coming. If he can start KOing or knocking guys out, it's going to be hard for that Dark Elf team to bounce back, because he has four blodgers, and I mean, he has a lot of block considering for the rest of his team. All of his team has block, besides, of course, the Loners are not going to have block, and one lineman doesn't have block. And the Witch Elf doesn't. So, with that tackle piece, and everyone that has normal strength, it's going to have a lot of block. So, I think it's probably going to be a 2-1 or a 3-1 with Malt winning.
Interesting.
Well, kind of on the same thing on that side, just addressing something you just said, is that if he loses one of his players, Malt does, it's going to put him at a disadvantage. But again, elf bullshit.
Yeah, I swear, right?
Alright, so it's my turn to decide the score for this match, yeah? I'm going to shock you all, but I'm believing it's going to be 2-1 to Johnny.
Oh. Rooting for
The reason I'm saying is...
the so-called underdog, even though his team values hold more.
Well, yeah, but here's the reason why I think this. You hit the nail on the head about the lack of players that Molt has, and we can all agree that if he does lose players in that match, he's going to struggle, and if he loses them quick, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
See,
And
Malt
keep in mind,
knows
he
that
has
he's playing
loners.
from behind, though. That's the thing. He knows he's playing from behind. He is not going to let Johnny get any free hits if he can avoid it. That means Johnny's only going to have the ability for one block per turn with that blitz.
True, but you have to remember, we have to add this one little factor, Nuffle. Nuffle might decide to be a dick to Molt and say, no, you're not getting anywhere, you're going to take your beatings.
Well, there's also something else to consider. There's going to be a lot of petty cash for Malt, too. So,
And as a
Yeah.
more
Wizard.
experienced player, he's going to know how to definitely utilize that funds to the best of his abilities.
Indeed. And I expect
Yeah,
a wizard.
chainsaw.
I brought a
chainsaw,
chainsaw
chainsaw.
against Malt. He went down turn 1 and was out for the rest of the game. Worst cash I have ever spent.
Yeah, but think about it though. Think about it this way: if Molt brings a chainsaw into this game, all those AV6 players that
You'd have to roll
Johnny's
a
got.
4 on 2d6. Just absolutely murder them.
Yeah, so I expect to hear a lot of rub and blood and guts flying. The chainsaws running about.
Well,
Anyhow, shall
either
we
way, let's
move on, gentlemen?
Yes, let's move on to the next match. And it involves the Amazons versus the Sterling Stitches.
The Necromantic.
Ooh, this one could get ugly.
Yeah, very much so.
So, I know that still the Amazons being like the #1 team definitely has the advantage in this match. However, if the Necromantic, if they can get like those early downs, he is not afraid to foul with anybody. He's not afraid to foul with a Fledge Golem if he needs to. So he's not worried about that part. He does have the werewolves with the claws, which probably won't go too far. But I mean, lots of injuries probably predicted against the Amazons if he can connect.
Well, let's be honest here.
Yeah, but
the claw's not gonna be a big deal at all because they're all armor value 7. But what thing that is gonna be a big deal? There is 3 mighty blow pieces on the field. That's gonna be the big thing.
Yeah, but we also got one little issue we have to address. He has no tackle, and that's a big problem.
That you are very correct. There is no tackle. There's 3 guards, 2 of them with tackle, and yeah, No tackle. That's gonna be hard, especially considering that is an Amazon team. Yeah, good luck.
Everybody has dodge, which means any of the stumbles is not going to be doing much. Um, the Necromantic does have more block on his side compared to the Amazons, though. So if he goes after the targets that are weak against the blocks, aka the throwers and the line women, without the wrestle, you can definitely start causing injuries.
Indeed, and if he can get
Oh yeah.
people down, even the ones with wrestle, he can surround and start fouling. Which, with Amazons, as you can tell in my game, fouling is very good because it is a poor man's tackle.
Pretty much.
Yep. And the thing is, the Amazons do have 2 extra players that they can field in. But again, it's definitely with the Necromantic team, the coach, they're not afraid to foul with any of his pieces. He's not afraid to lose a piece if he trades a piece.
Indeed,
So
and
he
I
will
like
go
I like
after
how he
the-
does that because besides me, I think he's another player that can just say I'm going to foul you, and I don't give two craps what's going to happen.
Yep. And to GW rules, please could you kill one of the 4 blitzers? We would all be appreciating if you do that.
Or at least do what I did and make him
What?
crippled.
Yep.
It is true. We all want to see the blitzers die.
You're not wrong.
But it should be an interesting game.
indeed.
Depending on how the first turns go, could spell for the rest of the game.
Indeed. So let's move on to what the prediction is going to be of the score, shall we?
Indeed.
So yeah, I think that the Amazons are probably going to win 2-0.
Ooh.
Just because of the fact that he has the dodge makes his players a lot more resilient to going down. And because of that, I think that they can sneak away with a win there.
You are not wrong at all. That is a good consideration. And let's be honest here, Gajiro, he knows how to play Blood Bowl, obviously. He's played in multiple different
He
leagues.
hasn't lost a game yet in this league, so
I think both, like, all of us want the Necromantic team to win. But will they win? That's the question here. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Formal here. It's gonna be an uphill battle. I think that the Sterling Stitches can do it because the player behind them, he knows how to play Blood Bowl too. I mean, granted, he paints models for a living for Blood Bowl or miniatures, anyways. So he knows how the game works. And if he gets good rolls against them and can able to bring them down, it's a good chance. My prediction for the score is I think it's probably going to be a 2-1 with the Amazons winning. I don't think it's going to be a straight blowout, but I think it's going to be close.
I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
that's fair.
That is fair.
I mean, again, with the low armor value for the Amazons, it does mean that they're more prone to injuries.
Indeed. And if they can go down and get fouled,
And-
that's an easy injury right there. Possibility.
Oh yeah.
But either way,
Now,
let's move on to
yep.
something that we're all going to probably be laughing at when this happens. It is the Chaos versus the High Elves.
Yep, the battle of the 2 biggest TV rated teams in the league.
Indeed. I think they're tied. too,
Chaos
aren't they?
gets a inducements of 10k.
Yep. They're getting very close.
I mean, first off, the thing you need to see is one of the Chaos Warriors has tentacles.
Yep.
None of that elf bullshit trying to get away from him. He's gonna make you stay.
Oh,
So, die.
I want to touch you in different places.
He is
God.
definitely gonna fondle your elves with that Chaos Warrior.
And don't forget, he's got that blocking Minotaur. That thing's terrifying.
With Claw and Mighty Blow, that Minotaur can destroy elves. The thing is the High Elves, not a lot of his players have the dodge, so he doesn't really have to worry about the tackle outside of 7 players. Although the thing about the High Elves is he does have the player advantage. If the High Elves can injure or knock out 2 of the Chaos players, he'll have the advantage for the rest of the game.
Yep, you are correct about that. But the
Yep.
thing is, on how let's be real here. Diaphil, he might have the players. He only has 2 block pieces, so he's not gonna be punching. He wants to
No.
run away. He has a speed advantage, kind of.
He does have Dauntless on one of his blitzers, one of the pieces with block. If he's going to be blitzing, it's going to be with that piece.
You are correct. But if Pig Dog plays correctly and put his pieces in the correct spots, you can't fight against that Chaos team. He has stronger guys, so he's going to be able to 2-die you and 3-die you because of his Minotaur blitzing if he blitzes with him, which I probably expect is going to happen. So, yeah, without that block, because the Minotaur does, good luck fighting, because you're not going to do many punching.
And Big Dog, please, for the love of all that's nothing, try and kill some elves. I mean,
We're doing Die a
Doggy's-
favor.
We're doing Die a favor here.
He's got the pain bloat. You need to bring it down a little bit.
I swear, right? So kill like Iron Man, Ant-Man, Black Widow, and Captain America. Let's make sure that team value gets below where everyone else is, okay?
Yeah. I mean, you could do it if you look at the Chaos team. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys with block
Yeah.
against
Yep.
2 of Die's block. He's gonna outblock him and outmuscle him. I mean, okay, elf bullshit will play a factor, but let's be honest. When you've got a rampaging Minotaur terrorizing your line, it's like, how do you stop something like that that's gonna terrorize your line?
Good
Well,
answer.
even if
Here's a good answer
not
for you.
that.
Not try to fight it.
No, he's going to try to
My-
minimize as many blocks as possible, but the thing is, he won't be able to break through the line. With the tentacles, with all the block, the claws will actually be effective against the High Elves. I mean, it lowers their armor value by 1 for some of his players. So, but it could be a very dirty match one way or another.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let's.
And Die, do me a favor. Kill Dipsy, would you? And Nom Nom too. If you can kill them, I'll be grateful.
I mean, if you can kill No, I think everyone will be happy. I mean, I like Minotaurs, let's be honest here. No, too, he started fighting against me, and, of course, got KO'd in this next game. So, it has a bad track record against me, but I don't want to fight him in the future if I don't have to. So if you can take him out, good luck with trying. I don't think you're going to. But I wish you the best of luck in surviving and not getting trampled over. Because you're probably going to die soon.
Yep.
So
So
I definitely expect to see some elf injuries here.
Indeed, I definitely
Oh,
expect it to. Unless freaking Diaphil pulls some kind of Infinity Stone BS like he did last time.
Yep.
Yep, he would.
But let's move on to the prediction of the score, and we can move on to other matches.
See, I'm thinking it might be a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
I know that the Chaos aren't the fastest team, but I believe that because of the cages that he can create with this team, the Elves aren't going to be able to stop him.
Not a bad idea. And Black, what do you think is going to happen in this?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm expecting a lot of casualties on both sides because I got a feeling Nuffle's gonna have one of his fun days. I could feel it in my bones. I'm going for a 1-1 draw, but with a lot of casualties.
A lot of casualties. All right, that is something that I expect to. I expect a lot of casualties. I don't really expect it so much on the Beastman. I might see a Beastman go down that doesn't have block. I can easily see that. But I think the High Elves is going to suffer injuries here. Are they going to be lasting injuries? Probably not. Because the Elves have been the High Elves have been very lucky with their injuries. Will Nuffle betray that fact in this game? Maybe. Maybe not. Do I think that the Chaos outstrength them? I think that's going to be the biggest factor here. Me being a Chaos player and winning last seasons with a Chaos team, obviously, I think Big Dog has a really strong team here. His Minotaur is way stronger than mine was. He has a lot of block, too. Granted, he doesn't have a dedicated ball carrier, but any Beastman with Agi 3 can pick it up and run down the field, obviously. So if he can keep 2 safeties in the back, or something like that, because he's going to outstrength them. He's going to try to run around you. Keep 2 safeties on both sides of the field so you can blitz with them, because they have horns to give them strength 4. And take out a ball carrier, if you can. So play somewhat wide, and get injuries against the high elves, because you got a lot of elves to go through to really get the numbers advantage. So I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for the Chaos team.
It's a fair assumption, and I mean, the thing you kind of forget about is the Chaos Warriors can also be a ball carrier.
Indeed, because of the Agi 3. Most times, most Chaos players don't use the Chaos Warriors, but that's also a bit of a counter to the High Elves trying to run around and blitzing 1 Beastman. You have to get 2 Elves around there to try to get a 1 die against a Chaos Warrior, so that's something else you can consider. Or you can try to give it to the Minotaur. He has a 50-50 chance to get the ball. It's also an option. But
Yep.
either way, good luck to you two. I expect to see some blood on the field.
Yeah.
And let's move on to the next match, which is going to happen, which is actually going to be me versus Formal. This is going to be a match.
It's definitely going to be a match.
Now, gentlemen, play nice and save the trash talk for the field.
I mean, I'm
What
not
you
going
want
to
to do
trash
now?
talk.
Go right ahead.
I'm not going to trash talk against Small here. He has a respectable dwarf team that hopefully doesn't get too mad if some claws get poked through some armor.
Yeah, I see those Skaven Blitzers, and same goes for you. Don't get too mad if, I mean, one of your Skaven Blitzers gets a boot to the face.
I mean, it's to be expected in Blood Bowl. I mean, only thing that'll make me a little sad if you hurt one of my goblins. They're my goblin players. Don't hurt them, okay? They're nice goblins that gnaw off the legs of elves, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I like the
I'm
goblin
calling
elf killers.
bullshit right there.
Wait, what?
I'm calling bullshit right there.
What?
I'm calling bullshit right there out of you there. Glad what you did to me.
I don't even know what he did to you, okay?
I kind of
But I do know that Tackle is really strong against goblins. He does have a goblin with block, and diving tackle makes him kind of scary, but I mean, goblins die. It's a thing of the game.
Exactly. They're the most vulnerable piece here. And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna
What
pick
did you
your
do
team
to me?
apart just for statistics wise. You have 2 guard pieces. You have Mighty Bow piece and a strength up Troll Slayer. And you got a plodging Longbeard. Sure.
Yep. See, I joined halfway through. I don't have as much SPP as everyone else. So I don't have that luxury of having all of the well-built players right now. But what I do have is I have a cohesive team that negates both down rolls against me.
Yep.
Yes, I have the 2 guard pieces, so I don't have a whole lot right now with them. But I do have a lot of tackle, which will absolutely destroy your goblins.
Mhm.
You don't have dodge on any of your other pieces. So it's just mostly a battle of attrition.
Yeah.
Seeing who gets picked apart first.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be the big thing here. If you start losing factors before me, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you. If you can hurt some of my key players, it's going to be difficult for me. Of course, goblins, they are goblins. They're there, and they are good at fouling, and they're good to be thrown. So, they can cause chaos in the game, possibly. But they're also not the best pieces on the field, let's be honest here. Granted, the 2 heads, they can be annoying. The lodging gobbo, he can be annoying. Probably the biggest threats for you on my team is, of course, my troll, and my
Troll,
2 Skaven
Scourge,
blitzers.
and Karn.
Yep.
Yep. As long as I make sure I mark those pieces well, I don't think your team has that strong of advantage of me. Besides maybe Theron Elite, the 4 strength Skaven lineman.
Yeah, and by the way, I did have a dodging Skaven lineman until he took a niggle, so I just fired and rehired him.
That's why you have Jamad too.
Pretty much.
But I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna basically be a battle of attrition. I do get quite a few thousands of endorsements. I get 260K.
Yeah, you do.
Against your team. So, I mean, might grab a death roller and even the playing field.
You might have a death roller, and that's the thing that would be very scary. I would expect more of a wizard, I'm not gonna lie, just considering how fast my team is. But what you do with your petty cash is up to you. It's not up to me. So, I mean, you're the opponent, so Black, what is your take on this? Because we are the opponents in this match against each other. We're being very respectful. I'm not gonna lie. We're being very respectful of each other. I'm gonna give you that.
How do I not believe any of you for a second? Why have I got a feeling that your goblins are hiding a dagger behind their back, and the dwarves are hiding brass knuckles in their pants?
Well, I got brass knuckles, and I think I got a flamethrower somewhere, but I think they're gonna search me. I won't be able to bring that one.
And most of the time, goblins with chainsaws, I mean, they just go through for some kind of reason. They don't care. So my goblins probably won't have a knife somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus the fact as well, if a Chaos Dwarf can bring in a blunderbuss, I think we can be fine with that.
All right.
Anyhow, to my thoughts, it's going to come down to one or two ways. Either one, Rom and the Skavens are going to have a field day, carving up the dwarves like a Christmas turkey, or the dwarves will turn the goblins into putty and just destroy them.
Yeah. Like Formal say, it's gonna be a battle of attrition, if I can speak.
However, I believe this match is going to come down to the most crazy of plays, which is going to be Air Goblin. I feel like an Air Goblin is going to decide the match.
I can see that too. Oh man, Formal getting close to a tie and a goblin throws and gets the win. I can see that.
Probably. I don't know. For me, I've only lost one game, and it was against the elf team. The others I have either tied or won. I think this might end up a tie.
I would agree.
Otherwise, you're gonna win. This might be my second loss here. I don't think I'm gonna win. It's either gonna be a tie or a loss for me.
Well, in my honest opinion, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna boil down to the first 4 turns. That will decide for how the game's gonna go. But scoring wise, I'm gonna give this game to Glad 2-1.
Oh wow. I can see that too, just because how we just said the last bit, a goblin getting thrown and get a touchdown at the last turn. I can see that. But either way, we'll have a good match, and we're going to see something. Either casualties, or it might just be us just pushing each other, for all we know.
Depends on Nuffle.
Indeed, and Nuffle never knows what he's going to do.
Can I just ask, who are you facing next week?
I fight Oathmaster.
The Amber Knights. Yeah, that's an interesting one right there.
Yeah. Well, you two can literally kick each other's heads in right after this bloody analysis if you wanted to.
Maybe so. We might have to do that. It depends on how long this analysis lasts.
Be too long.
We got 4 more games.
Halfway through.
But let's move on to the next one. It is the Rats versus the Undead.
Right, how are we gonna call this one? Because this is both teams who can't, get luck or love from Nuffle in this season.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, the Rats are keeping a low player count to try and keep their team value low. That way they can get those inducements. The Undead have one of the lower team values, which limits the amount of cash that the Rats get. They only get, I believe, 280,000. So, depending on what happens, I mean, they're going to be kind of even with the players. The Undead does have 2 extra players to field if any of their players get KO'd or badly injured. Um, Again, the Rats are going to be running right around. There's not a whole lot of tackle on the Undead team. Only a White and one of the Zombies have tackle. And the thing about the Zombies is they're very slow. The
Yeah.
Rats can be running side to side on the field, and the Zombies will never be able to catch up.
You're right, and I think that's going
Indeed.
to be the deciding factor. I think it's going to be strength versus speed. The Undead team has, of course, a lot more players, so it could be a potential foul fest if he can bring some players down, obviously. But the thing he's going to be punching most likely is going to be mainly loners, and that's what the Skaven team wants, really. Fight the loners to bide his time for his gutter runners to run around you. That's what he did to the Chaos team when they were punching in his face. Were able to tie it, but he was able to tie it. This team is not as good as the Chaos team. He has nowhere near as much block. His mummy, yeah, he has 2 guys with strength 5, but I mean a Chaos warrior with 4 of them is pretty much better than 2 mummies, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So, in the bash department, he's seen this before. If Grim, you remember how you fought against Pig Dog? Do a similar strategy, change it up a little bit, and try not to get fouled a lot. Because that's what's going to happen. At least I expect it. I don't know if Maz is a fouler player. I haven't watched all of his games that much. But I know he's defensive. He's a very defensive player. So you can expect him to play
Well-
wide.
Well, Maz is a bit of a fouling player because in his match against Joe, he was fouling a lot with Rom.
So that's a good possibility. He might be fouling a lot against you. So protect your gutter runners.
He does
And-
have the extra players, and he would not be afraid to go after the bigger targets. He's going to go after the gutter runners if he can. He does have the 2 players with the tackle, and if he can knock down a gutter runner, that gutter runner better hope he's far enough away from everyone else.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, be careful with your gutter runners. Protect them the best you can because they're going to get targeted. But what do you think the score is going to be? Unless you want to take your piece of the pie right quick, Black, before we go to scores.
I'm gonna be honest. It's like you said, speed versus strength. I think that if Grim can use his gutter runners effectively and outrun the undead, it's his game for the taking.
Okay. All right then.
Yep, if it all comes down to those gutter runners. If the gutter runners can get by, they can just score touchdowns like nobody's business.
Indeed. Alright.
So, score-wise, I think the Rats are going to win 3-1.
Oh, confident are we?
Yep, confident. I think that even with all of his injuries in it, I think Sergeant Grimm has come up with a great strategy for playing his team while being down. By being the underdogs, he gets those inducements, he gets those loners, he puts his loners up on the line because he doesn't care about them. He doesn't need to. They're just fodder. So he's not worried about those pieces. Because of that, he can focus all of his team value on his prime players. As long as he can keep his prime players away, there's not a whole lot that the other team can do.
And I'm going to have to agree with Formal here. I think it's probably going to be the Skaven win. I don't think it's going to be that high. Considering that Grimm is a more newer player, I think he's starting to get a good grasp of the Skaven team now, considering how much he's been playing them. And yeah, he's going to have loners. He's going to have some star players to actually, or maybe a star player. I don't know who he's going to pick, but I expect a star player. He's going to have those pieces on the line to actually absorb some of those punches and maybe do damage back. But I think it's probably a 1-2, considering on how defensive Maz can be. He's gonna hold some of those gutter runners to go through. It's gonna be a few rolls, and yes, with gutter runners, they can get through a lot of holes. So I'm gonna say a 2-1. That's my thoughts.
I'm gonna go with Maz winning 2-1.
Oh.
got a feeling that he's gonna run roughshod over the rats. I think he's gonna get a lot of knockouts and injuries during the match.
Okay.
Okay, I can see it. I mean, those mummies have mighty blow, and there is some tackle pieces with a
Yep.
zombie and a white.
And again, the rats do have very low armor value, meaning those mighty blow will just tear those pieces apart. It just kind of relies on the mummies being able to hit, but again, the mummies are slow. They have 3 movement and 2 movement, meaning the rats are just going to run right around them.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could really see countering the rats is, of course, that white. He's quick enough to kind of catch up, but mainly that strength 4 ghoul. That's going to be the biggest thing. If he can use that strength 4 ghoul as a decent safety, protecting him, but also being aggressive against anything that gets through the line, that's going to be the key player here, I think, for the undead team. But either way, good luck to you two. And do you have any final thoughts before we move on?
Should be an interesting game and probably a fun one to watch.
Oh yeah.
All right. And next thing on the list is going to be the Chaos Dwarfs versus the Bretonnians of the Amber Knights.
Oh.
So, straight off the bat, those blitzers are disgusting.
That is true. However, this is one match I think Scythe could do some serious damage. Because since all these players got tackled, they've lost their dodge ability.
Yeah, that is a good thing about dwarf blockers. They have block and tackle and freaking thick skull. So
But
if you can
also
get to it.
remember
Go ahead.
that the Grail Knight Marcus is as fast as the Gutter Runner.
Yeah, but let's be fair here. Those Bull Centaurs can be as fast as a Gutter Runner as well. Maybe not for Go Force, but just regular like movement and their Go Force.
Yes, of course. I mean, their block is going to be nothing against the Grail Knights, though. He has to get some early injuries against the blockers and the blitzers. If Scythe can get those early injuries down, especially with the claw, it'll slice right through their armor, and the mighty blows. It can definitely make a difference.
I definitely say Scythe has a good strength here. He has a Minotaur. He has 2 Bull Centaurs. He has a freaking Hobgoblin with strength 4 here. He doesn't have any. I mean, he does have 1 guard. It's gonna be tank. He's probably gonna be fighting in the midst. He has a niggle, but his armor value 9. I don't think he's gonna go down too easily.
True.
This should be like a really interesting game, just by placement. Basically, see whose armor cracks first, and then who can deliver the killing blow.
You're not wrong. I think Scythe's probably be able to crack armor easier and better against the Bretonnians. He's gonna have a stronger line. He's got more block, obviously. Granted, yes, the blockers can negate block somewhat, but at the same time, he has 3 mighty blow pieces. The blitzers only have, or there's only 1 blitzer with mighty blow on the Bretonnians. If he cracks armor, it's just gonna be on pure luck. Yes, he has the fouling attempts with his linemen right there, and of course, any regular linemen with Bretonnians are cheap enough for fouling. But do you really want to foul that much against Chaos Dwarfs? Because you're going to suffer injuries most likely. I feel like it's going to be a fairly injury-filled match for the Bretonnians here. I think maybe the Chaos team might suffer an injury on a Hobgoblin, and maybe the niggle Bull Centaur. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because these dwarfs, they're just really strong armor, and he has nothing to really crack the armor besides that 1 mighty blow piece.
The one thing, though, that is going to decide the game is the Chaos Dwarves, like weakest players when it comes to their armor value, are the only players who can handle the ball for certain.
Well, they handle the ball to hand it off to a Bull Centaur usually. They're the ones that pick up the ball. You are correct about that, and he only has a few of them. Both Chaos Dwarfs, do you really want to pick up the ball when you can just suffer injuries against opponents? That's Chaos Dwarfs for you. They're not the best ball handler, but if they can surround the ball and make sure the opponent can't get it, that's their strategy.
Just like the Camry.
Exactly, and yes, let's admit here, the blitzers are really quick, especially freaking Marcus. Um, so that is going to be the deciding factor. Yes, there is a guard player and a strength up, but that strength is not going to be a big deal because there is a strength up Hobgoblin with block. So I don't think that strength and guard is going to be a big deal considering the strength
But the
difference.
wrestle stops the block, so.
Kind of. It kind of does. I mean, he can get a stumble, and it can negate it. Um, and if it's a Minotaur, and there's both down, he can negate that or take the blow and let the turn in. It's up to Oathmaster here. I think Oathmaster's a little bit more experienced than Scythe for Blood Ball, so I think he has experience advantage. It's just his team. He has to sustain the attrition of the Chaos Dwarfs. That's going to be the deciding factor here, in my opinion.
Yep.
And
All right.
what's your case, Black? You haven't said anything about this match yet.
I'll be honest. I don't see Oathmaster getting everything his own way, but at the same time, if Scythe focuses on trying to murder Oathmaster, which I do recommend he does, yes, Scythe, I'm telling you to kill them. I think this will decide if basically if Oathmaster can take the punishment, he's gonna win. If he cannot, Scythe's gonna win.
Fair assumption. And Scythe has 110k petty cash. That's something
I would
else
say
to
get a
consider.
bribe just to.
Yeah, if he gets a bribe and gets one of the Grail Knights down.
Ooh,
he
that would
can
be juicy.
Definitely throw down a couple fouls, which can absolutely destroy
That
the
would be
Bretonian
juicy.
team. If he loses a blitzer, his season is going to become a lot harder.
Indeed. So this is a good deciding
yeah.
factor for the Bretonian team. Bretonians, good luck in surviving. What do you think the score is going to be, you two?
I still think, even if there are injuries, that Oathmaster is still going to walk away with the victory. I know that when I played against the Chaos Dwarves, we were a 0-0 draw. But the Bretonians are a lot faster, and I think that they can maneuver around the field a little bit easier. Yes, definitely taking injuries while doing so, but I think it's going to become 2-0 for the Bretonians.
Interesting. I can see that, but I think it's probably going to be a 1-1 tie. I think the Chaos Dwarfs is going to be able to hold against Bretonia. The Bretonians might get the ball, might be able to get an early touchdown. But that's all they're going to probably get. If the Dwarves can get the ball after that, he's going to just hold the ball. And if he's able to get injuries against the Bretonian team, he's going to slowly push forward, outnumbering him. And I'm expecting a blitzer to get hurt here. I'm expecting either one or two blitzers to get hurt. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to be a 1-1 tie. If injuries get settled in, he can't move around, that's going to be the crippling blow.
I'm going for a 0-0 draw.
Okay. Alright, any extra comments, Black, before we move on then?
Yeah, I think we've said enough that we need to say, I think.
Alright then.
That's fair.
The next match is going to be a slobber knocker, in my opinion. And it is the Ogres versus the Orcs.
Knocker. More like an assassination that I'm going to be working on.
Oh, assassination, I hear.
I mean, you have 5 players with tackle, which will absolutely destroy those Noblars. And block on each of them too, so there is no chance of those Noblars surviving. If he could get the ball on one of his Ogres, it's going to be a little bit tougher for you to kind of put him down, but he is going to be down players compared to you. He is going to have 1,900 petty cash. What he's going to do with that, I'm not certain yet. However, he can definitely make a difference in what he's bringing to this fight. The thing about Pirate Joe is he's not worried about the ball so much. He's going to play the ball, but his Ogres are definitely going to be punching as hard as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I might do something funny. I might throw Skarsnik at an ogre, see if I can kill one with him.
That'll be hilarious. I wish you
See,
the best of luck for that.
I was playing Fumble once. The Ogres are my favorite team, and I was playing against Chaos team. So I had one of my Ogres throw a Noblar at a Minotaur. The Noblar survived and hit the Minotaur in the eye, gouged eye. The Minotaur was gone for the rest of the game.
Oh
So
man.
if you do it, oh, it'll be great.
uh,
Uh,
and
I'll
do us all
I'll
a
be trying
favor,
to-
Black, right quick before we continue what you were saying. Can you do me a favor and kill the Agi up blocking ogre? Foul him if you want to. I don't care which. That ogre needs to go down. He is just too freaking scary.
Do realize you're asking me to pull off nearly the impossible, but I'll try.
I think you can do it.
Actually-
You have Mighty Blow, and you can definitely outnumber him.
I think you
I
got
could send.
Scar
I could send Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the perfect assassin against an ogre.
Well,
Don't even have to throw him.
I
Just
mean,
take
heck,
that knife.
exactly. Freaking, there was Russian Trump that killed an ogre, so I can fully expect a goblin to do the same.
If
Also,
I do manage to
that's
kill,
the sneaky get.
yeah, can you imagine though if I threw him and actually killed that guy with Skarsnik? That would be hilarious.
Oh
That would
heck
be a
yeah,
highlight
that would
for
be a
the
highlight
ages.
for the freaking season, if not of all time. And it
Well,
starts
I managed to do it to Molt. To Molt, I think I could try and pull something off.
Yeah, I can
But
see
I
it.
don't think Joe's gonna let me. I think Joe might want to go after my bloody Skarsnik with all his nobles and try and kill him.
Yeah. I think people's gonna be throwing goblins at the end of the day, aren't we?
Goblins or Noblars. There's definitely going to be some flying greenskins.
Definitely is going to be happening. Oh man. Well,
All right.
I mean-
well,
I've got a lot of tackle on my team, so as soon as I grab a Nobler, that's probably him in trouble.
oh definitely.
I mean, there's paper that's stronger than Noblar armor.
Definitely. Oh
So-
man.
Regarding the score, I think it's going to be a 2-0 in your favor. Just because, again, he doesn't have all the Noblars. He does have the 5 ogres, but the Noblars are just going to be shredded.
Well, this is what I think. I fought against him. It wasn't the best match in the world, let's be honest here. But I was able to tie against him. And I was getting nuffled. Let's be honest here. I was getting nuffled in that game. Your team is, of course, way stronger. You're not going to get triple dive for every freaking goblin you have besides, of course, Skarsnik. And you have a lot of strength. You have a lot of tackle and block. I think he's probably going to get a touchdown if he gets the ball early. He's probably going to get a touchdown like the first turn with his Noblar. He's going to throw him. I can fully expect and to see that. But besides that, I think it's going to be a 3-1, you winning. And there's probably going to be only maybe one Nobler left after that game. And I fully expect to see, of course, an orc or two down. Because they're freaking Mighty Blow piling on ogres. But I expect an ogre to go down, maybe even die.
I'll see what I can do, but no promises. But if I do land an ass missile on the ogres, that should be hilarious.
Oh, definitely. You got to commission me to draw that.
If that happens, 100%, I think everyone in the league would pitch in.
Oh, man. You got to do it, Black. You
God.
got to do it.
I'll try, but you gotta remember, Skarsnik is usually on the defense team. He's never on the offense.
Maybe you got to change it around here. Maybe you got to throw that goblin butt in the air and make sure it freaking hits the face of an ogre. Making him die from all the freaking bad fumes coming out of the goblin's rear end.
I think his intestines might leave his body as well.
Maybe so, because it gets splattered. But either way,
Yeah, but if I do kill an ogre with a flying goblin, I'll post on Discord saying mission accomplished.
Oh man. Well, good luck with your artillery firing tests, and we'll see that on the freaking
Yeah.
Blood Bowl pitch. But we got one more match to talk about, and it is the Lizardmen versus the Humans. Romkey.
Well, Romkey's the one who wants to kill Russian Trump the most.
You're probably right.
Oh yeah. If let's be honest, right? In my match against Bright, he's lucky that only one, lizard is missing the next game. He's lucky because
Yeah.
the amount of the amount of skinks he lost. I was thinking, right, how the hell did he not have missed next games? Most of his team just got like badly hurt.
Yeah, and he has a full squad, so he's. I mean, I think
He's got an extra player as well.
Yeah, he has
so
an extra
That's
player.
definitely going to give him the advantage.
Indeed.
The thing about Romkey's humans is that they are at the 11 player mark. They do have 1,900 in petty cash, which can maybe make a difference depending on if he wants to pick up another player or if he's just going to grab a wizard. Because if he uses the wizard against the skink who has the ball, I mean, that's probably going to be a down skink.
Indeed.
And I think his key player will be Dunk or Dunk. I can't pronounce the damn name. Thanks for monkey a git. But is Blitzer Dunk? The one who's got tackle?
Yes.
Drunky.
And Mighty Blow? I think Drunky, yeah. I think he will be the key factor against the Skinks, because if he can get to the back lines and get a hold of the Skinks, all the Skinks are going to have a repeat of the match against the Orcs.
Oh, I got a question for you two. Did Romkey went to Maz's humans from last season and steal a Steve?
Think so.
Why is there a Steve back on the pitch?
It's him.
I thought they were extinct from last season, okay? So, Bright, do me a favor and make sure they die. Get rid of the Steves. That's from season 2.
The one thing that the lizards don't have is the lizards, the Saurus, have been mostly teched against anti-dodge teams, or dodging teams. So the Saurus are mostly anti-dodging. Half of them have block, 3 of them have tackle. One of the ones with block has the tackle. So they're not there with a mighty blow, meaning less likely for those armor breaks. The only thing he does have is his Croxagore. I mean, the humans shouldn't be dodging away anyways. So, I mean, definitely the lizards have the strength advantage, but I definitely believe that the humans probably have the fighting advantage.
Yeah, because
especially
there
with all
is
that block.
a lot of guard.
A lot of guard, a lot of block, tackle, mighty blows. The skinks are definitely going to be the favorite targets here. As long as the skinks can stay away, the lizards might have a chance. But it's going to be a very interesting game. I know that there's definitely going to be some injuries, definitely with the skinks, maybe a Saurus or two, as long as the humans can stay on the pitch.
You're right. You're very much right. There's 2 mighty blow pieces, there's a lot of guard, there's a lot of block, and there's 2 tackle pieces. So the skinks got to be aware of where they're at. You got to protect them. But I fully expect to see another human on Russian Trump's Bone Throne.
Well, funny thing is though, when me and Bright were talking, he claimed that he would get an orc skull on his throne. That didn't happen. I mean, fair play. I tried to kill Trump, but Trump was being a big pussy. But
oh, I got hurt.
it.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Smart coaching, though.
he only got a little. I mean, he only had a little love tap. So, Ronki, if you can't kill Russian Trump, be my guest. I mean, I've tried, and he ran away like a little bitch.
It was all Bright's plan in the beginning. I've already said it before. When you get hit, just stay down.
I mean, that player, if he does not die this season, that player is definitely going to live on.
Oh, he's definitely going to be a player that a lot of people will be looking up to. Kind of sort of like Batman in Season 1. He was a chainsaw goblin that everyone hated.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The chainsaw goblins, in their own, they either live long enough to become heroes, or they die.
Well, they either kill enough people to be a hero for the goblin team, but since they kill so many people, they're enemies and villains to everyone else. And then they die.
Nah, they're still heroes, because if it's not your team getting chainsawed, it's a hero.
You're fair, very fair. But let's move on to the score. Let's start with Black this time. What do you think the score is going to be?
I'm going for 2-1 to Ronki.
2-1 Romkey. Okay.
That is exactly the score that I was thinking of as well. Again, Romkey is going to have that 190k in inducements, so 2-1 for the humans. It's probably what it's going to end up being.
All right. I'm going to be rooting for freaking Bright here. I think he's going to win, and I think it's going to be a 2-win for him. I think Romkey has been super freaking lucky on his stuff on his matches lately. I think it's time for Nuffle to crank that down a little bit and turn it over because Bright's been getting Nuffle pretty bad.
Yep.
He's not getting a lot of things, so I'm expecting that's going to happen.
But we also have to add this factor as well. Russian Trump is no longer the best serial killer, so he'll be going out for blood to try and get that rectified.
Indeed, so that's why I'm thinking he's going to get another kill. Russian Trump, he doesn't like being number 2 or number 3, whatever it is. He likes being in there. He wants to be number 1 with his bone throne, okay? He's the only skink that has kills like this, and he wants to stay on top. So he's going to try to kill a human with a foul, whatever. He's looking for blood now. His coach told him to stay out of the game in the orc match so he doesn't die. Russian Trump said, fine, I won't freaking kill an orc. So he got out, and now he saw that another player from another team took his skull throne. So he got to get more skulls on his skull throne to make his bigger, so he's the best one, okay? So that's what's going to happen here.
Well, I gotta say this to Bright. If you're gonna kill someone, do it in style. Kill the ogre.
Kill the ogre. Have another ogre head on your freaking skull throne. That'd be great. But good luck to you two. I expect to see some kind of blood, either lizardman or human. And that's the end of this analysis. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll definitely see y'all in the next week, the final week, until the playoffs. So thank y'all for watching. Take it easy. Thank you two for joining me. And we shall see y'all in the next live stream video or regular video, whatever you watched it as. Later.
Yeah.